Hello, everyone. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. So nice for you to tune in. I'm here with Dragonfly. One of my co-authors are in the Get Published Industry Experts Share Their Secrets book that's been launched and is an international bestseller already. We're both celebrating. We're very excited. And so we just thought we'll jump on here to share with you a little bit about why you, if you're an aspiring author, might want to get this book. So firstly, welcome, Dragonfly. Congratulations. It's your first time, isn't it?
It is. It's my first time even being published in a book. And so to become a bestseller right off the bat is pretty groovy. And my first time being a best-selling editor as well. So very happy, very pleased.
Very exciting. Yes. So why don't you start off and introduce yourself a little bit? Like, what got you into editing and what was the experience like for you?
Oh, thank you. I started editing when I was 19 in college at my university. Copy edited the newspaper for, I don't know, 25,000 students or something. And it was great fun. And I just was so natural at it, and we pull stuff, articles from the AP Wire and edit those and do headlines and stuff like that. And that just was really natural for me. And I also have just always been really comfortable with words. I've always aced everything in English. I've never tried and always aced everything in English. It's just such a natural, it's my natural inclination. I edit literally everything that I read. Literally everything that I read. I can't not edit. Even when I'm listening to people speak, I'm like in my head or sometimes like on my leg or something, I'm like writing the punctuation as they speak because it's just that ingrained in me.
Wow, it's very funny because every time I write to you, because now we're working together, I'm like, oh my God, she's going to edit my email as I'm writing. I should be writing properly. I'm so aware that you do that. I'm like, just don't worry about it. It's just an email. You're not doing a published book right now.
Exactly. And you don't need to be the editor. That's what I'm for.
Exactly. And I'm so grateful I don't have to. I just make sure that the content is in alignment, with the multi-author books that we talked off screen earlier just before. My job is to ensure that everybody's writing on topic and not goes off and meanders, and so that there's a cohesive stream that we're then sending over to you. And then you do the finer editing around that, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, copy editing, line editing, polish it up, ensure that the entire document is error-free. It's super, super fun for me.
Yeah. What is it about editing? There's a lot of people that I come across as a publisher. They say, oh, look, I've done a degree in English. I have done that as well. I've got a BA honors, first class BA honors in English literature. And still I wouldn't call myself, like I wouldn't ever want to attempt to edit my own work. What do you say to somebody who says, look, I'm really good at writing. I don't need an editor?
Yeah, writers are not editors. Writers, or they can be, but writing is not the same as editing. Writing is putting thoughts and ideas to paper. And writing can be intuitive, right? Editing is not intuitive. There are so many rules. I mean, fast and hard rules that one has to abide by in order to present a final document that is error-free, that is, properly edited. And there are like so many different like style guides and stuff, and you don't want to mix them. So it really is, there are literal books on it that people like me eat up, I mean, I eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But if you're not an editing nerd, then you probably get pretty bored reading, MLA handbooks, and style guides. But yeah, there are actual rules to follow with editing, and you don't necessarily know them just because, I know everybody thinks, well, gosh, I've been speaking English my whole life. Like, how difficult can it be? You'd be surprised.
And why? I mean, I know for myself, I have a very high standard at Hill House Publishing, and I want to make sure that everything we put out there is, is really well crafted, well put together, and creates a transformational experience for the reader. So that's what I'm really passionate about, to awaken and empower humanity or the readers through the books, but also the authors that are coming into the multi-author books. It's such a transformational journey. What was the question I was going to get to? Yeah, why in your, I mean, you're an editor, but why is it important for a reader to have this, really polished, grammatically correct writing book in front of them?
Credibility.
Yeah.
The credibility of the publisher is on the line. The credibility of the writers is on the line. If someone, if you take your car in to get worked on, and then it comes back and the engine's not in properly, it's like, okay, who just did this? Can I trust them to do anything? It's like, can I trust this coach, for example, to do the right thing by me if they don't, if they don't put in the extra work to make sure that they're presenting me with something that's the way they want it to be. Like if they just leave it up to chance, then will they leave me up to chance? And then from your perspective as a publisher, I also think that the credibility is maybe even more important on some levels, because you're inviting people to come into this project and to put their name behind a project. And ultimately, the goal is to have everyone be proud of what they put out, and not embarrassed. And I can say that I have, in the past, I've looked into contributing to other multi-author books and passed on them, because I went immediately to to the publisher's Amazon page and just perused, just the look inside, clicked to look inside, and I saw errors from the beginning, and I was like, well, as an editor, I certainly cannot, I felt like I couldn't trust the publisher to to present my work in a way that I want it presented, because it reflects on you as the writer, and also the editor and the publisher too. But yeah, that credibility is really, really important. And if we don't take the time to make sure that we're presenting a polished document for people, then they are going to wonder where else we cut corners, where else we're slacking, where else are we sloppy, and doubt that we'll be able to deliver for them.
I'd never thought about, I mean, for me as a publisher, I know that, quality is very important, and that's why I really choose my editors well. But I'd never thought about the implications for somebody, for an author, that wherever, where else do you cut corners? Where else are you not paying attention? Where else are you not working to the highest standard? I think that's a really, really good point to make. Yeah. Yeah. So I think where are we going to take this conversation?
Oh gosh. Maybe we could talk about how cool it is that we met. How cool that.
That's right. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. I wasn't sure what to expect from a multi-author project, and then all of a sudden I'm like surrounded by all of these people that are really talented and know what they're doing, and also beautiful artists, beautiful writers. And then met you and early on, and turns out you're a publisher who needed some future editing help, and it's really cool. I'm so happy to have met you, and I've met a couple of other people too that I'll be collaborating with in the future, and that was like a bonus of contributing to a multi-author book that I hadn't even really taken into consideration.
Yeah, I love that too. And I love that I've met you, and I've met a couple of other editors as well, because now I know that I can trust the people that have been in the book, because we've all got similar standards. That's the thing about a multi-author book. It attracts people of similar values and work ethics. And I find that in my multi-author books as well, like sometimes people are asking me, well, Crystal, how do you choose who you bring into the book? And I say, well, I actually don't need to do a lot of choosing, because the universe does it by itself. Like there's a self-selection process, and the only thing I need to do is be really clear in what this book is about, and what we're looking to, what it's to do in the world. And then the people will self-select if they're resonating with that intention. And yes, to be honest, I have once said no to one person, but only once, because the rest is, it just takes care of itself. And I do actually sometimes get the tingles, those truth tingles when I have a conversation with somebody, whether this is going to be beneficial for them. So I have an additional barometer of how I can know that this is something, that's in alignment. And the collaboration is always surprises me as well, but it always happens especially in the containers that I run. And I know with the book that with Get Published, it was very similar. We had meetings, we really got to know each other, we built that trust factor with one another, and we got to talk about what drives us, what makes us tick, and so we could connect on that level, which, oh my God, the book that we're creating together, Beyond Certainty, I'm so excited. This is just going to be such a high vibrational book, isn't it? That you're going to be editing, you're contributing a chapter to it as well. And yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting.
It is. I'm so stoked for this. And I love that you invoked the universe and how the universe takes care of everything and brings in the right people, attracts the right people to the project. That's been my whole life, letting the universe just handle it all, and that's how I've gotten the vast majority of my editing gigs, right? I've never advertised that I'm an editor or set out to find gigs, but through word of mouth, previous clients referring me to other people. And to me, that feels like the universe providing for me always in a completely seamless and effortless way. And so I love that is your background as well. I have no doubt that combining forces is going to just make it that much more magical. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And all of the contributors in this book, Beyond Certainty, are also very much on that same line. They've always followed their gut, their intuition. And actually, we happen to have, just a little side note, we happen to have 3 more spots. If anybody feels like, oh my God, I need to be in this book, I want to have this experience of just expanding, because that's what it does, right? A multi-author book just expands. And in terms of Get Published, I think, yeah, if you are an aspiring author, maybe not so much about multi-author books, although that as well, but if you're wanting to get your book out there, this book, Get Published, really gives you such a comprehensive idea of what you need to consider. And not only that, it also gives you the people who can help you achieve it, so that it just takes the stress out of it. Everything is there. You just need to get this one book, and you'll find everybody you could possibly need to create a successful solo book. And because we are all sharing our individual journeys and our stories, you'll be the readers, listeners, you will be able to relate to us and see, who do I resonate with? Who do I feel my message is most aligned with, that I can hand this over to? So I think that's the other great thing about Get Published.
Absolutely. It is. And it really is chock full of so much value, step by step, how to go from the process of ideation from ideation to publication, which is amazing to have all of that in one book. It's really impressive. Really impressive. I'm really honored to have worked with all the people that we worked with. I really feel like it's, it's one-stop shopping. If you want to publish a book, you want to write a book, if you get this book, then you will know how to go about that. How many people think, I want to write a book, but what does that even look like? What does that mean? Where do you start? And this book is the launching pad for that. It's beautiful.
Exactly. So if you want to get your copy, we'll put the links in the comments, but you can also search it under the title on your Amazon in whichever country you're in. Yay. So thank you so much for having this conversation with me, Dragonfly. And yeah, looking forward to continuing the celebrations. Congratulations again. For me, it's I don't even know, I think it's the 10th time that I'm an international published author. Yeah, if I include all the books that I've published in the last 2 years, it's getting into the double digits now, which is kind of exciting as well.
That's amazing, Crystal. Congratulations.
Thank you. All right. Thanks everyone for listening. And yeah, we'll keep celebrating, keep getting the book, keep reading, and we'll see you where we see you, when we see you.
Bye.